देवी स्तूयते नित्यं विबुधैर्वेदपारगैः सा मे वसतु जिह्वाग्रे ब्रह्मरूपा सरस्वती ब्रह्मरूपा सरस्वती ॐ Namaste again. Going further with the discussion of the Hindu tradition, we have seen in part 1 of this video the vision of the tradition, that oneness which offers as an antidote to the human condition of alienation, marked by alienation, sorrow, fear, and a sense of disconnection and dissatisfaction centered on the self. So, for this knowledge, to prepare for this knowledge, we have some, to prepare for this knowledge, we have some recommendations. What kind of a life one must lead in order to gain this knowledge, in order to live this knowledge, in order to prepare for this knowledge. And this is something which is actually very beautiful, because uh, one is told to first heal the split within. There are many, many splits within. Before one, wonders how to be one with the whole universe, with the uh, you know mm, with the understanding of oneself as limitless, how to be with the whole universe, how to be um, how to be one with everything. And this is what is told, and this is what you know is given. Now, along with that, there are certain lifestyles, there are certain things to prepare for this, and that too is part of the message of the Hindu tradition. So before one embraces the whole universe and recognizes oneself as non-separate from the Lord, from the goddess, um, or somehow bigger than this body mind sense complex, one is asked to turn within and love up all the splits that are there within. The first split is between the doer, the one who is acting, and then the one who is a knower. And this is why, Satya Bhashanam, or truth speech, you know, speech discipline and truth telling is advised. Because if one were to lie constantly, one were to get into the habit of lying, there is a split between the knower, the one who knows I'm not in truth, I'm not speaking the truth, and the one who is speaking untruth. So there is already a split, so then there is no preparation for oneness. So this is one of the, we highly regard the the vrata means discipline centered on speech. We have many stories, the whole stories are there based on promises made, like Ramayana, Mahabharata. All these are huge epics, and they all are centered on one promise made by a son to his father, made by a son to his mother, like this. It's amazing, because that word is kept, because that that promise is, once the word is kept, once the word is given, it is kept, no matter what sacrifices are there to follow that. Then the second thing that is emphasized is that the more one gives up, holding on to a kind of a parallel reality, a kind of a personal parallel reality, such as a subjective reality made up of strong preferences and strong prejudices. The more one is able to keep that in check, then that also goes to healing the split between the inner children, meaning those permanent toddlers within that refuse to grow up because they, you know, there are certain frozen needs, trauma, hurts, what have you, and then the adult. So that split is also healed by managing these strong preferences and prejudices. We don't use the word control, we use the word manage. And that management is important because if you don't manage them, they will start managing you. So it's a life of a kind of a discipline and sacrifice, all for inner growth, that is facilitated by the management of raga and dvesha, strong prejudices and strong preferences, so that they don't get, so that they don't weave a web, a tangled web of a personal reality which is projected onto the reality that is already there. What is Ishvara, this is what it is. And then over that, I have an overlay of my own subjective desires, and that is what is, managed. Those, that parallel projection is, is withdrawn, or at best even suspended for the time being, and I'm able to see what is without my own subjectivity coming in the way. And this is very, very important for growth, and this is very important for that integration of the inner child and the adult, so that one can, one can then enjoy, go forth to prepare for this knowledge and enjoy the oneness that it gives. And so, to this end, finally, I will say that it is, one is advised to lead a prayerful life. A prayerful life is not a life where one is constantly praying. That's not what we talk about, because God is not an object, it's the truth. We consider God the truth of the subject in the vision. And so it's not a life where one is constantly thinking of God, because God is not an object. So therefore, it's a life where one is graduating from seeing prayer as an action or a series of action to an attitude with which all actions are performed. Because if everything is God, whatever I do is service, whatever I do is prayer, work is worship, eating is worship, and drinking is worship, bathing is worship, everything is worship. And so everything is mind, therefore, mindfully and worshipfully accomplished. And in so doing, one grows to be a devotee, and to have an identity of a devotee, in the tradition, insulates one from all, disappointments, anger, fear, and other emotions, unwelcome emotions that one doesn't know, doesn't know how to deal with. And in this way, one grows from a person who always, seeks to like what they have to do, to a person who, you know to a person who does things because that is what is needed. I cannot always do as I like, so I grow to learn to like whatever needs to be done. And this is what is the growth that is emphasized to, you know to achieve this knowledge of oneness. There is much, much more to say and talk about, but I just wanted to leave you all with a little bit of a taste, and so that, one can have a sense of what this is all about. Thank you very much. Om Tat Sat.